Good evening and welcome to
ICU TV Main News. We take a look at the stories making headlines. Lungu family dismisses rumors of body being moved to Spain. ZRA intercepts smuggled goods worth over 4.9 million kwacha at Chirundu border. 2 sentenced to 10 years for ZESCO infrastructure vandalism. And in international news, Egypt's president pardons British-Egyptian activist Alaa Abdel Fattah. In sports news, Power Dymomos kicks off their CAF Champions League Campaign with a win over ASEC Mimosas. With the news details, my name is Beauty Ngonde. The family of the late President Edgar Lungu has firmly refuted circulating social media claims alleging that his remains were secretly transferred to Spain, describing the reports as false and malicious. Mapaloka Sama has more in the following report.
The family of late former President Edgar Lungu has strongly dismissed social media rumors suggesting that his remains have been secretly moved to Spain. They say the reports are false, malicious, and unworthy of any response. Family spokesperson Makebi Zulu told the press that the family would not dignify what he described as fake news. He reaffirmed that the former president's body remains in South Africa, where he died on June 5, 2025. The issue of Mr. Lungu's final resting place remains unsolved, despite a court order from the Pretoria High Court directing that his body be repatriated to Zambia for a state funeral. The family, however, has appealed that decision, insisting that the court failed to consider their wishes regarding the burial site. This legal challenge has delayed the repatriation process. As of August 20th, the late president's body was still being held at Two Mountains Burial Services in South Africa. In a letter addressed to both the family and the Zambian government, the funeral service provider confirmed that the remains are in storage awaiting resolution of the dispute. While the body has been embalmed, the company has cautioned that prolonged storage could eventually lead to some deterioration. As formal talks between the Lungu family and the Zambian government continue, the nation awaits a resolution on the late president's final journey. For now, the family maintains that any reports suggesting otherwise are entirely false. Mapaloka Sama, reporting for ICU TV News in Lusaka.
The Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, has intercepted 2 trucks carrying smuggled goods at the Chirundu one-stop border post, preventing an estimated revenue loss of over 4.9 million kwacha. More details in the following report.
In a bold move to curb smuggling and protect national revenue, the Zambia Revenue Authority has intercepted 2 trucks carrying illicit goods at the Chirundu one-stop border post. The seized items, which include alcoholic beverages and cosmetics, represent a revenue loss of more than 4.9 million kwacha. The seizure occurred on the same night when both trucks attempted to bypass official procedures by using an unauthorized gate and route within the Chirundu border area. ZRA Corporate Communications Manager Oliver Nzala says security footage and swift action from ZRA officers played a key role in tracking and intercepting the vehicles. He reveals that one of the trucks, heavily loaded with assorted alcoholic beverages, was involved in an accident along the illegal route.
The Zambia Revenue has seized, or rather intercepted and seized 2 trucks that were carrying, one truck was carrying cosmetics and the other truck was carrying alcoholic beverages. Now these trucks were impounded on the same night, and they were discovered to have used a very undesignated or unauthorized gate with the help of private security, which was hired to provide security around the border premises. So again, we are disappointed to note that hired security is actually involved. We had to review our security footage, and it was discovered that these security personnel actually facilitated the smuggling of these commodities. And well, the truck that was carrying alcoholic beverages actually did overturn or flip, so it was involved in an accident. So it was at the time that they were trying to move the goods that the Zambia Revenue Authority was also able to make the interception.
Meanwhile, Mr. Nzala adds that the second truck carrying cosmetics was later traced to a local truck yard after being spotted on surveillance. In accordance with the Customs and Excise Act, both consignments and the trucks have been seized for smuggling and conveying goods liable to forfeiture.
And then the truck which was carrying cosmetics, or the truck right behind me, again, it has these cosmetics that have a revenue loss of about 805,000 kwacha. The revenue loss from the alcoholic beverages is at 4.1 million kwacha. Again, for us, the clarion call to everyone involved in the trading business, the transporters, the importers, the clearing agents, and everyone else, including the general public, let's ensure that we make the correct declarations. Let's ensure that we do the correct thing to avoid seizure and forfeiture of the vessels, in this case the trucks, and also the goods.
ZRA emphasizes its commitment to promoting legitimate trade and urges all importers to make accurate declarations when bringing goods into the country. Mapalo Kasama, reporting for ICTV News in Chirundu.
2 men have been handed 10-year prison sentences with hard labor by the High Court for their involvement in vandalizing ZESCO infrastructure, a crime that authorities say is becoming increasingly rampant. Samson Piri and Adrian Banda were convicted on 7 counts of vandalism by Judge C. Kafunda on September 2nd. Their arrest and prosecution were made possible through collaboration between ZESCO Limited and the National Prosecution Authority, NPA. ZESCO's senior manager for special duties and investigations, Ben Mwanamwaka, welcomed the judgment, describing it as strong deterrent to others contemplating similar crimes. The sentencing comes amid a notable rise in vandalism cases, with ZESCO documenting 46 incidents in the past week, an increase from 43 the previous week. Mr. Mwanamwaka says overall 63 security-related cases were reported, resulting in estimated losses of 1,760,000 kwacha. Authorities managed to recover stolen property worth 435,000 kwacha. Arrest 14 suspects and secure 2 convictions. Mr. Mwanamwaka stresses that the destruction of power installations not only results in financial losses, but also affects the reliability of electricity supply to homes, businesses, and essential services, ultimately hindering national development and public safety. He commends community members for their cooperation in reporting such cases and urges the public to continue alerting law enforcement or ZESCO to any suspicious activities near power infrastructure. President Hakainde Hichilema announces key government and diplomatic appointments. President Hakainde Hichilema, during a swearing-in ceremony held today at State House, unveiled a series of new appointments to both diplomatic missions and government offices. Albert Mudenda Mchanga has been named ambassador-designate to Ethiopia, while Professor Gary Nkombomuka will serve as ambassador-designate to the United Arab Emirates. Engineer Grace Mutembo has been selected as a new High Commissioner-designate to South Africa, and Abdon Liston Mawere is set to represent Zambia as ambassador-designate to the Russian Federation. Appointments were made at the Cabinet Office. Eugene Monga is the new Director of Policy Implementation, Monitoring and Coordination, and Moyambango Nkwemo has taken up the role of Policy Analyst. Government pledges enhanced business environment. President Hakainde Hichilema has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to creating a more favorable environment for business operations with the goal of attracting increased investment into Zambia. Since taking office in 2021, President Hichilema said his government has focused on reviving the mining industry, a sector that was facing significant challenges at the time. He highlights ongoing reforms in various policy areas, including debt restructuring and strengthening the rule of law, as key steps toward stimulating growth and investor confidence. The president made these remarks during a courtesy visit at State House by a delegation of global investment professionals and capital market analysts led by First Quantum Minerals FQM Chief Executive Officer Tristan Pascoe. He emphasizes the importance of FQM's involvement in the mining sector, noting that their investments have spurred employment, supported local businesses, and contributed to national revenue used for improving infrastructure. President Hichilema reiterates that government remains focused on addressing barriers that hinder investment, stressing that open dialogue between stakeholders is crucial for resolving challenges and fostering mutual benefits for investors and citizens alike. The president also praised FQM's decisions to fund the Kansanshi S3 expansion project, which is expected to significantly boost copper output and help the country move towards its production target of 3 million tons annually. He also emphasized the value of strong collaboration between the public and private sectors in driving Zambia's economic growth. In response, FQM CEO Tristan Pascoe expressed appreciation for the favorable investment climate established by the government, which continues to draw international interest. He states that the delegation's visit underscores the confidence global investors have in Zambia. Pascoe also revealed that the group would tour the Kansanshi S3 project and review FQM's community initiatives in education and healthcare during their stay. We now take our first break. Please stay with us for more news after this.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development.
Welcome back, and now in local stories. Chingola farmers to receive inputs this month. Over 1,600 vulnerable farmers in Chingola district are set to receive farming inputs this month under the Rain-Fed Food Security Pack, FSP, a government support program managed by the Department of Community Development. According to Acting Chingola District Commissioner Stephen Monze, the district has already received a substantial portion of its allocated fertilizer, specifically 4,240 out of 6,677 50 kg bags of D-compound and urea. Mr. Monze expresses optimism that the remaining inputs would be delivered by early next week. Government expands social cash transfer program to reach 250,000 additional households. The government has concluded the selection process for a new group of beneficiaries under the social cash transfer program, adding 250,000 households to the initiative. According to Glenda Nachinga, Principal Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services, the updated list will be made public soon, with payments to the new recipients expected to begin before the year ends. In an interview, Ms. Nachinga notes that this expansion will raise the total number of households supported by the program from 1.3 million to over 1.5 million. She also highlights significant growth since 2021 when the program covered around 800,000 households. One of the beneficiaries, 64-year-old widow Cecilia Perry, shared how the support has helped her launch a small business, enabling her to provide for her family and improve her standard of living. You're still watching ICU TV main news. We take a short break, and coming up is next international and sports news.
Hello, the Information and Communications University, ICU. What comes to your mind when you hear of this name? Is it the beautifully architectured infrastructure at our campus? Or is it the amazing students that are always performing well in their fields? My name is Zimba Emmanuel, and I present to you Alumni Chronicles, a program that gets to look at all students that have passed through the corridors of ICU and are making an impact in society today. Join me every week as I sit down with former students and get to listen to them, what they have to say about life after they've been through the university. Remember, it's ICU TV every week.
Welcome back, and now in international news. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has pardoned the prominent British Egyptian activist Alaa Abdel Fattah, who has been imprisoned for 6 years, state media and his family say. Abdel Fattah was one of 6 people whose sentences were commuted following a request from the National Council for Human Rights. According to Al Qahira News, his sister Mona Seif wrote on X, "My heart will explode." The 43-year-old blogger and pro-democracy activist is one of Egypt's best known political prisoners. He was arrested in 2019, months after finishing a previous 5-year sentence, and convicted to 2 years of spreading false news for sharing a Facebook post about a prisoner dying after torture. Still in international news, Trump hails Charlie Kirk as martyr to thousands in memorial service. US President Donald Trump hailed the conservative activist Charlie Kirk as a great American hero and martyr during a speech to tens of thousands of mourners at a memorial service in Arizona. Trump was the headline speaker at the packed event on Sunday, which saw top officials from his administration, including Vice President J.D. Vance, praise Kirk's political legacy after he was shot dead on 10th September. Kirk's wife, Erica, delivered a tearful speech at the State Farm Stadium near Phoenix in which she said she had forgiven her husband's alleged killer. But the US president broke with her forgiveness message to say he disagreed with Charlie Kirk's view of wanting the best for his opponent. We'll take a short break and stay tuned for sports news.
Did you know that mental health conditions are treatable and recovery is possible? Hi, I'm Ngenia Febamoyo. I'm your host on Let's Talk Mental Health. I invite you all to this show where you freely express yourself, and together we find a solution. For more details, you can contact 0777 93 73 92, and we'll be there to help you find solutions to whatever you're going through.
Welcome back, and now in sports news. Zambian Giants power Dymomos got their 2025 to 2026 CAF Champions League campaign off to a winning start, edging out Ivorian side ASEC Mimosas 1-0 in the first leg of preliminary round tie at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola. The win sets the stage for a thrilling return match in Abidjan on September 28th, where Power Dynamos will look to hold on to their lead and make a statement in the CAF Champions League. We have more in the following report.
Power Dynamos kickstart their CAF Champions League campaign with a thrilling 1-0 win over ASEC Mimosas in the first leg of the preliminary round tie. Innocent Kashita's 7th minute header, courtesy of the precise cross from skipper Prince Mumba,
proved to be the difference maker at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Nola. Coach Oswald Mutapa praised his team's performance but wished they could have scored more, setting the stage for a 10-second leg. Football Association of Zambia First President Keith Mwemba urges Power Dynamos to approach the second league with positivity, emphasizing their capacity to score and seal the tie.
Proud of you, I'm very happy. Remember all the time, keep your heads down. Don't get carried away. We are still going very fast. So shown a lot of professionalism. You see, ASEC Mimosas has a big history in the Champions League.
Mwemba reminded the team that they are not just playing for themselves, but for the nation, encouraging them to fly the Zambian flag high.
We are behind you, the country is behind you. You are not playing just for yourselves alone, you are playing for the nation. This is a footballing nation, we cannot.
Power Dynamos depart for Abidjan on Tuesday, ready to face ASEC Mimosas again on September 28. Can they hold on to their lead and make a statement in the CAF Champions League? Stephen Chisengamope, ICU TV Sports.
That sports item brings us to the end of the menus, but before we go, we take a quick recap at the stories making headlines. Lungu family dismisses rumors of body being moved to Spain. ZRA intercepts smuggled goods worth over 4.9 million kwacha at Chirundu border. 2 sentenced to 10 years for ZESCO infrastructure vandalism. In international news, Egypt's president pardons British Egyptian activist Alaa Abdel Fattah. In sports news, Power Dynamos kicks off their CAF Champions League campaign with a win over ASEC Mimosas. Thank you so much for watching. For more updates, stay glued to our Facebook page ICU TV and our website icutvzm.com.